Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the gym at Needham High School in Needham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls basketball contest between the hosting Rockets of Needham High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. We just finished up a thrilling JV contest here in this gym that came down to the closing seconds. And with these two Bay State Conference rivals getting ready to face off, I think we might just be in for quite the show ourselves here with the upcoming varsity matchup. Of course, last year when these two teams faced off, they faced off in Brookline. That was on December 19th of 2023. Needham just barely edged Brookline by a final score of 36-31, so that one came down to the wire. Brookline came up just short of a comeback, and Needham came away with the win. The Rockets would go on to a pretty strong season last year, as they finished with a 14-6 regular season record, earning them the 10th spot in the Division I power rankings of the MIAA. They advanced through the round of 32 into the round of 16, where they suffered a narrow 48-46 loss to 7th-ranked Weymouth. But Needham got some next-level revenge against the Weymouth Wildcats in their season opener for this year. Last Thursday, Needham took on Weymouth and bludgeoned them 73-21 to get their season started in the win column. Brookline, meanwhile, they started off their season last week with a loss at home against Natick, 59-33. Those of you who watched the live stream, you know Brookline's biggest struggle. They were a bit one-dimensional on their offense. Olivia Matarazza had a career day, the senior co-captain, with 19 points to lead the Brookline offensive effort. But the rest of the roster struggled to keep up offensively. Izzy Woods had a pretty solid day with 6 points. Ivy Wheeler put up 4, all of them at the free throw line. But outside of those 3 players, just 4 points from the rest of the Brookline team. So that was a tough day for them offensively. We'll see what they are able to do against Needham here. We'll see if they can spread out the scoring a little bit more. I'm happy to say that once again, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can see that Esch Dental logo in the bottom center of your screen, and you can check out that phone number and a link in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Boosters Club, the official booster club of BHS girls basketball. Got about 4 minutes on the pregame clock, as you can see on the scoreboard cam in the bottom left corner of your screen. We're going to go through the rosters real quick here, starting with the home team Needham Rockets. Going in order of jersey number for Needham, first off, we have a senior captain, number 1, Noah Brown. A sophomore, number 2, Lila Jansen. A junior, number 3, Annie Kamosi. A sophomore, number 5, Lacey Williams. A senior captain, number 10, Callie McCarthy. A sophomore, number 11, Aislinn Flaherty. A freshman, number 12, Ella Widger. A junior, number 13, Noah Richmond. A senior captain, number 15, Ella Sidome. A junior, number 22, Danny DeRolin. A junior, number 25, Hannah Levine. A junior, number 30, Eva Andrews. And a freshman, number 33, Paige Moyer. Head coach of the Needham High girls basketball team is Hannah Carroll. Now we move over to our right. Let's take a look at the roster for the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a senior captain, number 1, Olivia Zanini. Next, a sophomore, number 2, Isabel Izzy Woods. A junior, number 3, Jada Kimbrough. A junior, number 4, Ivy Wheeler. A senior, number 11, Kyrie Simmons. A freshman, number 12, Skylar Makalewski. A junior captain, number 13, Nefeli Aga-Kitch. A junior, number 14, Jaden Williams. A senior, number 15, Amelie Hauner. A senior captain, number 21, Olivia Matarazza. A junior, number 22, Viviana McDonald. And a senior, number 23, Julia Danker. Head coach of the Brookline High girls basketball team is Kendall Jones. So those are our rosters. We got a couple minutes before we get this one underway. Warriors versus Rockets out here in Needham. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High basketball.
Now Aga-Kitch running in transition. Aga-Kitch sees a lane, runs in, layup is good, and one. Going to the floor, Aga-Kitch picks it up, passes it back across half court to Hauner, throws it across, Wheeler, open three, yes! Susanini down low, Matarazza backing down, spinning, shot, banks it, and one! Wheatley pass intercepted by Kimbrough. Kimbrough running the fast break, goes up, hits it! Inside, Sophie Fish almost lost the ball. Ball's knocked away! It was knocked away by Zanini, and it's held on by McMahon, and Brookline holds on to win!
All right, the teams finished their warm-ups. The PA announcer here in Needham will soon take over, give us our starting lineups and the start of this ball game. As always, if there's anything any of you fans tuning in would like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat or to send me an email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen if you're not comfortable using YouTube's live chat system.
Between the visiting Warriors from Brookline High School and your Needham Rockets. Let's meet the starting lineup for the visitors. At guard, sophomore number 2, Isabel Wood. At guard, junior number 3, Jada Kimbrough. At guard, freshman, number 12, Skylar Makalewski. At guard, junior, number 13, Nefeli Aga-Kitch. And at forward, senior, number 21, Liv Matarazza. The Warriors are coached by Kendall Jones. And now, fans, make some noise for your Needham Rockets. Guard to the junior, number 3, Eddie Camozzi. At forward, junior number 25, Hannah Levine. forward, junior, number 30, Eva Andrews. At guard, senior captain, number 1, Noah Brown. And at guard, senior captain, number 10, Callie McCarthy. The Rockets are coached by Hannah Carroll, assisted by Liz Radley. Fans, we ask you to now rise for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, those were the starting lineups, national anthem. We will soon have our opening tip-off here in the first quarter between Brookline and Needham. Starting lineups for Brookline, 4 of the same 5 starters they had against Natick, Jada Kimbrough, Skylar Makaluski, Nefeli Agakich, and Olivia Matarazza. One slight change, they've put Izzy Woods in the starting lineup after a pretty solid outing off the bench against Natick. For Needham, their starters, Noah Brown, Anna Kamosi, Callie McCarthy, Hannah Levine, and Eva Andrews. Last time these two teams faced off, each team only had one player scoring in double figures. Aga Kitch put up 12 for Brookline in last year's game against Needham, and for the Rockets, Noah Brown put up 13 against the Warriors. We'll see what kind of results we get here tonight. A fresh 8 minutes on the clock for the first quarter of this Bay State Conference matchup. Here we go. The tip-off starts the game, and it goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it was knocked out by Matarazza off the opening tip-off with Andrews, and so Needham will get the opening possession. McCarthy gives it to Levine into the corner to Kamosi, swings it way across. Deep shot from Brown. Noah Brown getting us started with a bang from downtown. A 3-0 lead to start for Needham. Aga Kitch throws it across half court to Makaluski, throws it intercepted by Andrews, was looking for Kimbrough under the hoop, but Andrews using that length to cut off that pass. That pass deflected by Aga Kitch, but picked up by McCarthy. Fakes, goes inside, misses the layup. Andrews recovers the offensive board, barely gets the pass away to Brown. Throws to the corner to McCarthy, quick pass to Levine. Back up top to Brown. Brown floats one over, deflected, out of bounds by Makaluski, and it will stay Needham ball. Fast moving to start here. McCarthy holding the ball up top. Throws inside to Levine, extra inside to Andrews, and finishes on the open lay-in for 2. Eva Andrews has already matched the total she had against Brookline last year with that bucket, as that pass knocked out of bounds by McCarthy. Brookline struggled against the press last game against Natick. The Needham doesn't appear to be as aggressive with their press, but it'll still be a challenge as Brookline does break it there. Matarazza's pass deflected, recovered by Woods, thrown out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough rushes in, throws to the corner. Makaluski for 3, no good. Rebound chased down by Kimbrough in the corner. Now Kimbrough trying to force her way through. Floater, no good. Rebound is collected by Kamosi, and they're going to call a reach foul on Kimbrough. So off the foul, McCarthy now walks it up. Throws inside Levine, tries a mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound by Matarazza, and a reach foul now called on Levine. One foul for each team in the first minute and a half. Needham with a 5-0 lead over Brookline to start. Agakich surveying, long pass, dangerous, and it's intercepted. McCarthy throws it up to Brown. Brown whiffs on the layup, and it's knocked out of bounds by Andrews, and it'll be Brookline ball. Brookline's got to find a way to get some higher percentage passes when breaking the press. Agakich dribbling, throws it up to Woods. Quick pass to an open Matarazza. Matarazza holds it, gives to Agakich. Agakich from the wing gives to Woods. Woods almost traveled there. Got to be careful as that one's knocked loose by McCarthy, picked up by Makaluski. Makaluski now dribbling with it at the top. Starts to drive, goes in. Extra pass. Goes off the body of Levine, out of bounds. Makaluski trying to show off some moves there, but just couldn't get enough on that pass, but got the lucky deflection out of bounds. Stays Brookline ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Agakich floats it out to Makaluski. Makaluski off the screen from Matarazza. Gotta get a shot up. Throws it over to Woods. Woods has to fire and misses. Air ball. That's going to be a 35-second shot clock violation, and it will give the ball back to Needham. McCarthy bringing it up. Throws it into Levine. Outside Kamosi for three. Short. Rebound collected by Woods. Woods trying to run in transition. Throws it over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough runs in, pass. Misses Matarazza, but hits Agakich. Agakich from the top. Fires for three. No good. Just wide. Might have been tipped by a defender. Long home run pass to Andrews, who misses at the rim. Rebound by Woods. Woods running, throws a pass out of reach for Matarazza, saves it, and Kamosi recovers and barely keeps her hands on it as she now passes to Levine. Inside, Andrews wide open for another layup, and a timeout is called by Brookline as Needham holds a 7-0 lead. And Brookline was just kind of going through the motions when getting back in transition there. All the players getting into their usual spots, but Matarazza was trailing behind everybody because she was the one who was trying to keep that ball in bounds on the save on the other end. And nobody picked up on that. Nobody got into Matarazza's spot, and so Andrews was left wide open right under the hoop. And Andrews has been finding herself wide open at the rim a few times to start. She's hit 2 layups, leads all scorers with 4. And if not for some whiffed on open looks by Needham, this could be a far worse score for Brookline. Four points from Andrews, 3 from Brown. As we come out of the timeout, we'll see what kind of adjustments Coach Jones and the Warriors might have been able to make. And it's going to start right here with the inbound as Needham is not pressing. Needham has called off the dogs on the press defense here as Kimbrough is allowed to just walk it up. And they'll play in the half court as Kimbrough loses her balance after being disrupted by McCarthy and turns it over on the near side sideline. McCarthy throws into Levine. Levine throws down low. Andrews out to the corner, quickly swing it around the wheel here. And a three-pointer from Brown is no good. Rebound won by Andrews. Throws outside. Levine from the top. No good. Rebound Agakich. Agakich trying to run in transition. Gets around and is running with it. Throws to the corner. Woods steps, fires for three. No good. Sails it. McCarthy. Bit of a mental mistake there. Decided to reach for the rebound instead of letting it bounce out of bounds, but her toes were on the line. And so Brookline gets a free possession here. Agakich looking for the inbound, gives to Matarazza, throws out to Kimbrough, who resets. Kimbrough throws inside Matarazza, backing down, turnaround blocked by Andrews. Loose ball recovered by McCarthy. McCarthy in transition, gets around a defender, goes inside, is going to be fouled. I think that foul is going to be on Matarazza, but it might be on Makaluski. We'll see who they call it on. They call it on Matarazza, her first, team's second, and McCarthy will go to the line for 2. Off on the first. McCarthy, the senior co-captain, had 5 points against Brookline last year. And goes 1 for 2 at the line and has her first point of this matchup. Matarazza gives back to Agakich, and that pass blocked by McCarthy, thrown back to Brown, and Brown gets hacked by Agakich on the attempted layup, and now Brown will go to the line for 2 as Brookline with another turnover on the offense as Needham went back to the press, and it paid off. First free throw from Brown is good. Now tied for the team lead with 4 as number 4 Ivy Wheeler checks in for Brookline, replacing Agakich. Brown 2 for 2 at the line. And now a 10-0 lead for Needham as Brookline's still looking for their first points. Kimbrough fakes and throws to Makaluski. Makaluski across half court. Drives in, almost had an extra step, but gives to Kimbrough, who tries for 3, no good. And they're going to call Makaluski for the loose ball foul, pushing over Kamosi from behind on the attempted rebound. That's going to be the 4th team foul for Brookline. 1 more, and Needham will be shooting the bonus for the rest of the first quarter. McCarthy throws it across to a wide-open Kamosi, who finishes at the rim for 2. Needham finding all the gaps in Brookline's zone defense so far, as Brookline quickly breaks the press that time. And we got a reach foul that's going to be called on Brown. And now off the foul, Makaluski inbounds to Woods. Woods runs in, layup no good. And the rebound is collected by Kamosi. Kamosi throws in to Andrews, out to the corner, Levine for 3, no good. Rebound chased down by Kimbrough. Kimbrough off and running in transition, goes up, blocked cleanly. Oh, a late whistle on the foul as they call it against Brown. That'll be her second personal, 3rd team foul, and Kimbrough will go to the line to try and get Brookline on the board. And she hits the first. Couple subs for Needham. Number 2, Lila Jansen, and number 5, Lacey Williams replace Levine and Brown. Kimbrough off on the second. Matarazza fighting, gets the offensive board, throws it out through the hands of Woods, barely saves the backcourt violation and gives the ball to Makaluski. Makaluski has a lane, runs in, floater is good. First made shot from the field for Brookline as the freshman Skylar Makaluski has her first career field goal. Backdoor cut, Kamosi gives to Andrews, out to Williams, across to McCarthy, and finds Andrews. Missed on the shot. Needham cold on their shots despite finding several open looks on a routine basis. Kimbrough fires for 3, no good. Rebound by Kamosi. Kamosi brings it up, throws across Jansen. Jansen down low, Andrews. Andrews looking around, throws out Jansen. Jansen across to Williams, to the corner. Kamosi for three, off the mark, rebound Woods. Woods in transition, if she's got the speed, draws the foul. Slight hesitation, and she got the hit from behind. That'll go against Lacey Williams as we take a quick look at the bucket by Skylar Makaluski, the freshman's first made field goal of her high school career, as she got 1 point off a free throw against Natick in the season opener. Woods hits the first. Brookline starting to find some points here in the closing minutes of the first. As for Needham, a substitution, number 22, Danny DeRolin, replaces Callie McCarthy, and for Brookline, number 1, Olivia Zanini, replaces Jada Kimbrough. Brief moment here as I think they might be adjusting the game clock.
Team fouls stand at 4 apiece.
Oh, I see what happened. They accidentally marked a foul on Brookline's side instead of Needham's, and so it showed 5 fouls for Brookline and 3 for Needham, when in fact it should be 4 for both. So any fouls in the last minute 41 of this first quarter will send the team to the line for bonus free throws. Woods goes 2 for 2 at the line and checks out for Aga Kitch. Jansen gives to Williams, back to Jansen, now over to Kamosi, back up top Jansen, back to Kamosi, to Andrews, out to Kamosi, up top Jansen, around to Williams. Williams tries dribble, throws a pass, deflected out of bounds by Ivy Wheeler. Stays Needham ball as Kamosi throws it to DeRolin. Back out Kamosi, tries a deep three, no good. Rebound bouncing, chased down by Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch stripped from behind, but it goes out of bounds as Jansen couldn't chase down the recovery. It will stay Brookline ball. Aga Kitch needs an inbound option. Throws it to Makaluski. Makaluski off the screen, runs in. Layup is good. Great dribble drive from the freshman Skylar Makaluski, and she's now got 4 as Brookline cuts the lead down to 5. Kamosi to Williams. Williams out to DeRolin, inside. Kamosi turns around, quick shot, no good. Rebound, Wheeler. Wheeler getting trapped, passes away to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch runs it across half court. Now runs in, lost the ball. Recovered by Matarazza, or was it? It's still loose. Picked up now by Makaluski. Makaluski tries for 3, off the mark. Rebound knocked loose, but picked up by Andrews. Hands off to DeRolin. DeRolin in transition, throws to Kamosi. Kamosi runs down to the baseline. Pass blocked by Makaluski, recovered by Andrews. Andrews trying to avoid the swarm, throws it out to DeRolin. DeRolin up top to Williams. Now to the corner. Kamosi for 3, no good. Recovered by Kamosi, steps in, closer shot. No good again. Rebound knocked loose. It'll stay with Needham. The Rockets just can't seem to buy a bucket. Their shot has been cold all quarter, but in particular in the second half of this quarter, they've been outscored 7-2 after taking a 10-0 lead. Inbound goes to Williams. Williams almost traveled, but gets passed away, stolen. Ivy Wheeler off to the races, couldn't get the shot off in time. The buzzer sounds on the first quarter, but Brookline has got to be happy with the back end of that first quarter, as they were down 10-0 to start in the first 4 minutes and have since outscored Natick 7-2. Led really by a strong effort from the freshman Skylar Makaluski, who's got 4 points so far, as she got the last made bucket for either side with that nice dribble drive. 4 for Makaluski, 2 for Izzy Woods, and 1 for Jada Kimbrough. Makaluski, the only Brookline player to hit any shots from the field so far. For Needham, Noah Brown with 5. Eva Andrews with 4, Annie Kamosi with 2, and Callie McCarthy with 1. Andrews and Makaluski the only players who have hit multiple shots from the field so far today. As we break between the first and second quarters, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. You can find all that in the description section down below. We head to the second quarter now, a fresh 8 minutes on the clock as Brookline gets the opening possession. Makaluski with the ball on the wing, goes up top to Zanini. Zanini throws inside Matarazza, turnaround jumper, banks in. Matarazza, the leading scorer from the season opener against Natick, has her first points off that mid-range jumper. Now Jansen with the ball, gives to Levine. Back to Jansen, tries for three, short. Might have been slightly tipped, rebound recovered, kicked out. Levine tries a deep three, and Levine hits it. The cold streak for Needham finally ends with a tray from Hannah Levine as Brookline now works against the press. Long pass finds Makaluski, tries a pass through the needle. It's deflected out of bounds by Andrews. It'll stay with Brookline as Aga Kitch will inbound for the Warriors. Gives to Zanini, inside Wheeler. Wheeler, pass out to the corner to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch picks up her dribble, throws up top Wheeler. Now over to the wing to Makaluski. Makaluski hits traffic, hands off to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch tries dribble in, spins. Awkward angle, didn't go. Rebound by Andrews. I'm kind of surprised by how close that shot was. Pass goes across to Jansen, now inside to 11, out to the corner. Levine tries for three, no good. Rebound by Aga Kitch, who avoids the defensive pressure, runs it across half court. Hit from behind by Levine, no foul, surprisingly, as now Wheeler runs in, kicks out, travels. Extra step called on Wheeler there, as couldn't get the pass off quickly enough due to the defense. Jansen brings it up, over to Levine, now to the corner, back out to Levine, across to Jansen, inside to Aislinn. Flaherty, number 11, drives in and gets fouled by Makaluski, who is trying to reach in for the block. That'll be the first team foul for Brookline. I think that's Makaluski's second personal, as Flaherty will go to the line for two. Off on the first. We had our first notes in the live chat from Kat Jones. Initially expressed some concerns about the connection or volume, but it seems like things are okay, as they said never mind. But if you do notice any technical difficulties, I encourage you to speak up in the live chat or an email. Flaherty 0 for 2 at the line as Aga Kitch collects the rebound. Good boxing out of the shooter there as Aga Kitch walks it up, tries drive in, kicks out to the corner. Zanini runs baseline. Her pass knocked out of bounds by Levine. It will stay with Brookline here. Zanini gives to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch from the corner, inside, intercepted by McCarthy. Read that pass well, and she gives to Levine, who finishes at the rim for two. 5 points now for Hannah Levine, as that pass knocked out of bounds by Flaherty. Brookline starting to get back into the bad habits of giving it away on errant passes, as Izzy Woods and Jada Kimbrough will check back into the game for the Warriors, replacing Zanini and Makaluski. Woods walks it up now for Brookline, swings it over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough looking around, throws it down low to Matarazza, back out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough up top to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch to her right gives to Woods, now out to Wheeler. Wheeler drives in, throws it out Woods, across to Kimbrough. Kimbrough Still nowhere to go, gives it to Woods, back over to Kimbrough, inside Matarazza, back and down, tries a hook, no good, rebound by Andrews. Levine brings it up across to McCarthy, back to Levine, now over to Jansen, across to McCarthy, inside Flaherty, extra pass intercepted by Agakich. Agakich running in transition, goes inside, extra pass knocked out of bounds by Levine. Needham doing a great job of playing the player with the ball and then quickly moving into passing lanes. They're reading Brookline's options for passing lanes well as Agakich now inbounds Kimbrough. Kimbrough sees a lane, runs in, mid-range floater, well short as that bounces out of bounds off the air ball. 17-9, Needham leads Brookline. As we're almost midway through the quarter, Levine with the ball, swings it across to McCarthy. Inside Flaherty. Flaherty gives it out. McCarthy tries from the corner, no good. Rebound Agakich, quickly throws it up to Kimbrough. Kimbrough in transition. And that one intercepted by McCarthy. She saw Woods too late on that one. Flaherty gives to McCarthy. McCarthy running in, extra pass. Goes off a foot, back to McCarthy. Throws out Levine. Levine stuffed by Matarazza. And the loose ball picked up by Wheeler. Wheeler running up, throws. Kimbrough tries for three. Short. Airballs it, and it's recovered by McCarthy. McCarthy throws it up to Levine. Levine into the corner. Looking. And quick passing stolen away. Matarazza gives to Woods. Woods one-on-one with Jansen. Almost lost the ball, and now it's stuffed and taken away by Andrews. Jansen throws it up to McCarthy. McCarthy gives it to Flaherty. Now to Andrews. Andrews fakes, steps around, shot. Disrupted by Matarazza. The loose ball knocked out by Flaherty. Three subs coming in for Needham. Brown and Kamosi and number 33, Paige Moyer, into the game for the Rockets. As for Brookline, Makaluski back in the game, replaces Matarazza. Agakich gives to Makaluski, back to Agakich, back to Makaluski, throws it ahead to Woods, quick pass, Kimbrough juggles, recovers, they swing it around, Agakich tries for three, short. Rebound Kamosi, but Woods gets her hands on it for the jump ball. Possession arrow to Needham, but good hustle by Woods to force the jump ball there. McCarthy walking it up. Looking around, goes inside, deflected by Makaluski, back to McCarthy. Goes inside to Kamosi, looking around, shot no good, but the foul called on Makaluski, and that is tough because I do believe that is her third personal foul, so Makaluski getting into some foul trouble early here. That'll be the team's second, and Matarazza, after a shorter rest than might have been expected, will be checking back in after this first free throw is missed by Kamosi. Makaluski has to come out due to the foul trouble. Brookline had the same problem with Matarazza last game as she got into some early foul trouble. As Kamosi 0 for 2 at the line, rebound by Wheeler. Wheeler runs it across half court, gives to Woods. Woods driving in, goes up, no good, but draws the foul. I think Woods was expecting to throw a pass to Matarazza on that dribble drive, but Needham read the passing option again and jumped into that passing lane. It was a good adjustment by Woods, just not good enough to make the bucket. Off on the first free throw. And now number 5, Lacey Williams, checks in, replacing Brown, as Brown I think is dealing with a bit of foul trouble herself. Woods hits the second, 1 for 2 at the line. She's now got 3 points as Brookline reaches 10. McCarthy throws inside. Kamosi back out to McCarthy. And now over to Jansen, back to McCarthy, back to Jansen. Jansen tries for three, no good. Rebound bounces to Kimbrough. Kimbrough in transition gives to Wheeler. Wheeler goes up, no good. Rebound, Kimbrough. Putback is good. And a timeout is called by Needham. And as we look at the replay of this last bucket by Brookline, I want to really pay attention to the good patience by Kimbrough as she waited for Jansen to fully be covering her before she threw that pass to Wheeler. That's kind of a problem that Brookline's been having, is that they throw the passes a bit prematurely out of concern that Needham is going to block their passes right in their face. And that allows Needham to just jump into the passing lane as they read the Brookline players' eyes and read their hands as they pick up the dribble and go for the pass. And that's allowed Needham to really cut off those passing lanes. What Kimbrough did so nicely on that 2-on-1 fast break is she had the patience to wait until the defender made a decision and was leaning towards Kimbrough before she threw that pass to Wheeler. Granted, Wheeler missed on the layup, but it was an open enough look, and Jansen then had to overcorrect to try and get back to Wheeler to cover that shot, which left Kimbrough wide open for the putback. So just overall good patience by Kimbrough on what could have been an assist, but instead turned into a bucket. 17-12 now the score as we come back out of the Needham timeout. McCarthy throws it over to Kamosi. This pass tipped by Kimbrough, juggled and lost, and Jansen called for the back court. Because what happened was Jansen touched the ball while it was still on the Brookline side, and then it went to the Needham side, and so when Jansen picked it up, it was last touched by her, and so that qualifies for a backcourt violation. Woods up top with the ball, gives to Wheeler. Wheeler looking around. That pass way too hard for that close range, and Brookline gets a little lucky there as it's touched over the line by McCarthy and gives it back to the Warriors. Brookline's got to be careful about, clogging their own lanes, getting too close together. Woods throws up top to Kimbrough. Now over to Agakic, back to Kimbrough. Kimbrough off the screen. Now throws to the corner. Agakic hits a wall, hands off Wheeler. Inside Matarazza, quick turnaround, hits it at the buzzer from the shot clock. That turnaround jumper is Matarazza's favorite as she's got 4 points, both of them off those turnarounds. McCarthy throws inside Levine, pass out, Jansen along two, no good. Rebound is going to be a loose ball foul against Jansen. And again, I want to highlight the adjustments Brookline is making. A lot of times when Needham was passing into that soft part of the 2-3 zone at the top of the key, it would leave Andrews wide open under the hoop, and Brookline adjusted well. They sunk their coverage down low, and so Levine couldn't go inside to Andrews. Agakic runs in and draws the and one there off a nice layup. Nefeli Agakic recognizing the driving lanes well as she hits her first made bucket of her first made field goal of the season, that is. And she's going to the line for an and one. Off on the and one, but Brookline has cut it down to a 1-point game, believe it or not. They trailed by as many as 10 in the first quarter, and now they trail by just one as Needham turns that one over with 1:02 left in the half. Matarazza gives back to Agakic, back to Matarazza, back to Agakic, looking to get it across half court before the violation, but there's the 10-second violation as nothing opened up quickly enough, and Agakic was taking too long to try and get around her defender. So back-to-back sloppy turnovers by both teams here. As now McCarthy with the ball. Gives to DeRolin. Now over to Jansen, around to Levine, inside McCarthy, extra pass, misses, and picked up by Kimbrough, running the fast break. Pass to Woods, throws up the layup and hits it! Brookline's got the lead, as Izzy Woods now has 5 today. And again, great patience on the pass by Kimbrough, as this time she gets the fast break assist off a nice pass there. And they're gonna call a foul on Woods there. You know, you put both hands on the body and you get the arm extension, they're going to call that foul every time, as that will be Brookline's 3rd team foul. 18-17, Brookline now leads. As McCarthy walks this one up, gives to Levine on the wing. Levine around up top, throws, tries to go for the backdoor cut, but it was too hard and out of reach for McCarthy. As Needham turns it over again. 6.9 seconds left in the half. Brookline's got to try and set up a shot fast. Wheeler to Agakich, throws it up to Woods, collides, throws to Kimbrough, couldn't get the shot off. As Brookline wanted a foul on there, but they say she got ball, and that is how the half will end. But Brookline has got to be very happy with how that second quarter went, as they outscore Needham 11-5 and take the lead going into halftime. Our score at the half, Brookline 18, Needham 17. And after Brookline failed to score anything in the first 4 minutes of the game and fell behind 10-0, getting a lead against Needham seemed like a pipe dream, but here we are living that dream as we go into the half. Individual point totals so far, pretty well spread out for Brookline this time. Izzy Woods leading the way with 5. Skylar Makaluski and Olivia Matarazza with 4 each. Jada Kimbrough with 3. And Nefeli Agakich with 2. For Needham, Noah Brown and Hannah Levine with 5 each. Eva Andrews with 4. Annie Kamosi with 2. And Callie McCarthy with 1. As we go into halftime, once again, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And you can find that link and phone number in the description down below. And you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Boosters Club, the official booster club of Brookline High girls basketball. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Through the first 10 years of this scholarship fund, they have raised about $1.5 million in scholarship funds for graduating BHS students. And your help is crucial to supporting these Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And as always, you can see all those phone numbers and links down in the description section down below. And if you know of any local organizations, whether they be local businesses or local charities, that you think could benefit from getting this extra attention during these BHS Athletics live streams, feel free to reach out and let me know. You can see my personal website and my email down in the bottom right corner of your screen for an easy way to contact me with any inquiries you might have about that. But for now, I'm going to take a break and mute the mic for halftime, but I'll be back with the second half of what is a pretty close ball game so far, so you better stay tuned. Okay, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from the gym at Needham High School in Needham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this high school varsity girls basketball contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Needham High Rockets. Brookline through the last 12 minutes of the first half outscored Needham 18-7 to come back from a 10-0 early deficit and take what is currently an 18-17 lead. And Brookline will get the opening possession of the second half. Here we go. How will the second half treat us after a thrilling first half? Izzy Woods running in for a floater, no good. Rebound collected by Eva Andrews. Gives to Aislinn Flaherty, up to Callie McCarthy, runs in, layup is good. Callie McCarthy with her first made shot from the field today. She's now got 3 points as Needham instantly takes the lead back to start the second half. Nefeli Agakic walks it up for Brookline. Swings it to the wing to Skylar Makaleski. Goes inside, Olivia Matarazza backing down, throws it out. Woods, long two, off the mark. Rebound by Flaherty. Running with the ball now is Annie Kamosi. Tries to knife through, goes up, no good. But gets her own rebound, throws it out to Flaherty. Flaherty almost lost it but recovers. Throws pass across to Hannah Levine. Now back across to Kamosi, tries for three, no good. Rebound by Agakic. Agakic throws it up to Kimbrough. Kimbrough running in, goes up and charge. Hannah Levine with good positioning and discipline to take the charge there as Kimbrough will be called for the foul, first foul of the second half. McCarthy walking it up. Swings it over to Kamosi on the wing, back up top, McCarthy. Now goes to Levine. Levine steps in, mid-range, no good. Rebound picked up by Matarazza. Agakic finds an open Kimbrough running in, goes up again, no good. Rebound tipped but collected by McCarthy. Kamosi now walking it up for Needham. Throws to the corner, McCarthy swings it across to Flaherty, steps in, extra pass, deflected right back to Flaherty. Throws to Andrews, fake steps in, disrupted on the shot, but not cleanly. Foul will be called on Matarazza there.
Warriors foul number 21, Liv Matarazza.
That'll be second team foul
Rockets shooting 2.
for Brookline as Eva Andrews will go to the line for two. Hits the first. Was a tough miss for Brookline on that fast break lay-in, but really they just didn't see Kimbrough wide open for a couple seconds, and those couple seconds allowed Needham to get back and disrupt the shot. Andrews 2 for 2 at the line. She's now got 6 and leads all scorers. Kimbrough drives in, layup no good. Rebound Matarazza, putback is good and one. Great quick release on the putback by Matarazza to get that as an and one and make the bucket. As she will now go for the and one to try and tie. No good off the front rim. Matarazza with 6 points now as Kamosi brings that one up. Needham leads by 1. Levine on the wing. Swings it across to Flaherty. Now miscommunication saved by McCarthy as that ball was flying out of bounds. But McCarthy keeps it for the Rockets. Throws down low, lost off the feet. And they say touched by Matarazza. It looks like it went off the foot of Kamosi, but last touched by Matarazza. And so it'll be Needham ball. McCarthy, her pass deflected right back to her, tries a baseline jumper, no good. Rebound by Woods. Woods gives it back to Agakic. Agakic steps to her left, fakes the shot, gives to Matarazza. Matarazza hands off to Agakic. Agakic tries from the top. No good on the three ball. Rebound fought for and won by Kimbrough. Great scrappy play by Kimbrough on that offensive board as she resets the play. Goes to Matarazza, thought about the jumper, decides against it, gives out to Woods. Woods from the wing, dribbles back and down, throws out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough looking for where to go, goes back out to Woods, across, almost lost, but recovered by Makaluski. Makaluski, with 10 seconds on the shot clock, goes inside Matarazza, blocked by Andrews. And now Kamosi brings it the other way. Kamosi gets fouled on the reach by Woods. And so that'll be 3 team fouls for Brookline. They got to be careful. 5 fouls will give Needham the bonus free throws. As McCarthy moves to her left, throws inside Levine, out to Kamosi. Corner 3, no good. Rebound tipped. Last touched by Flaherty, and it'll be Brookline ball. And we've got, I think, a substitution for Brookline. Indeed, number 4, Ivy Wheeler, checks back into the game, replacing Aga Kitch. Woods bringing it up. Deflected, recovered by Kimbrough. Kimbrough running in, throws back door to Matarazza, and blocked again, this time by Kamosi. Kamosi throws to a streaking Andrews. Too hard, out of bounds. 21-20 remains the score in favor of Needham. 4:25 on the clock here in the third is a substitution for Needham. I believe it's Lily Jansen coming back in, replacing Kamosi. Kimbrough starts to drive. Extra pass, tipped away, but recovered by Woods. Woods steps in, gives to Matarazza. Matarazza backing down, turns around, left-hander, no good. Gets her own rebound, put back, no good. Rebound by Andrews. Now Jansen running it the other way. Pass stolen. Great interception by Woods. She goes fast break for the layup. 7 points now for Izzy Woods. As McCarthy brings it up, throws baseline to Andrews, goes out. Wild pinball ricochet, and they say last touched by Levine. I have no idea how you figure out who touched that one last with how that was ricocheting off of several players. But it will be Brookline ball. Timeout called now by Brookline, 22-21. Let's take a look at a replay of that play by Izzy Woods. Watch her reading this pass here and coming back. Great read on that one. That's the exact kind of play that the Needham defense was making against Brookline throughout the first half, just reading the eyes and the hands of the ball carrier, ball handler, and jumping right into the passing lane. Great play by Woods there. And now Izzy Woods, who was a JV call-up last year, was split in time between varsity and JV as a freshman, got promoted to full-time varsity this year, was coming off the bench in the season opener, got promoted to the starting lineup today, and now has a team-leading 7 points off that fast break lay-in. She actually leads all scorers in what's been a very tight race between several scorers from both teams, as both Brookline and Needham have had some pretty well-balanced scoring outputs today, contrasting what Brookline had last Friday. Out of the timeout, Kimbrough with the ball. Looking. Gives to Woods. Woods drives in, has a lane, left-hander, no good. Rebound tipped, recovered by Kimbrough. Kimbrough fighting down low, couldn't get it, but it's rebounded by Andrews, thrown up to McCarthy. McCarthy down low to Levine. Levine throws it out to Jansen, across to Levine at the top. Levine back to the wing to Jansen. Now back to Levine. Over to McCarthy. McCarthy inside Levine, out to the corner. Flaherty for three, off the mark. Rebound Woods, throws it up to a streaking Kimbrough. Trying the fast break, layup is good. Kimbrough's been looking for those fast break buckets all night tonight, and she hits that one off a nice find from Woods after the rebound. Levine goes inside, no good. Rebound Makaluski. Ball's knocked loose, and Makaluski smartly lets it bounce out of bounds. Jada Kimbrough now with 5 points today off that fast break bucket. Brookline leading by 3, their biggest lead of the night so far. Woods off the screen from Wheeler, fires along two, no good. And, oh, we got a foul called on Levine for boxing out Makaluski. Illegally went for a bit of a hip check there to try and cut off Makaluski. Good hustle by the Brookline freshman to draw the foul on the loose ball there. Inbound to Matarazza. Looking, throws it out to Makaluski. Makaluski dribbles in, throws out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough from the wing. Throws inside Matarazza. Matarazza backing down. Turnaround, wild shot, no good. Was double teamed there and couldn't get a good shot off. Levine bringing it the other way. Throws it to Andrews. Andrews on the dribble drive. Shot no good. Rebound Matarazza. Andrews was looking for a foul call but did not get it. Woods. Hands off Wheeler. Hands off to Kimbrough. Kimbrough almost juggled that one there. Now hands off to Woods. Woods kicks out Wheeler. Wheeler steps in, throws out to Makaluski. Makaluski stepping back to the wing. Throws up top to Woods to reset. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They got to do something. Woods runs in, desperate floater, and it's good! Izzy Woods making something out of nothing as they were running out of time on the shot clock, and she's now got 9 today. Inside to Levine, out to Jansen, back to Levine, across to McCarthy. McCarthy's pass does get over to Jansen, back to McCarthy, tries for three, no good, couldn't get the bounce. Rebound by Wheeler, knocked loose, and it's lost out of bounds, and it'll be Needham ball. Aga Kitch checking back into the game, replacing Makaluski. While for Needham, Noah Brown back in, replacing Levine. And I think Flaherty DeRolin checked in to replace McCarthy. DeRolin pass gets away from Flaherty, but she recovers it off the ricochet. Now throws it out to Brown. Brown from the wing, no good on the 3-ball. Rebound chased down by Jansen. Jansen gives to DeRolin. DeRolin driving in, shot does go in. Wild shot from Danny DeRolin as she gets her first points of the night. Kimbrough being chased by DeRolin. And Kimbrough draws the foul. Good dribbling by Kimbrough to evade the aggressive on-ball defense from DeRolin. Prevent the turnover and draw the foul. That'll be foul number 3 against Needham here in the third quarter. Ball given to Kimbrough. 20 seconds left in the third. As this game just flying by. Kimbrough floats it into Matarazza. Backing down, turns around, pass out to Woods. Extra pass to Wheeler. Wheeler runs in, kicks out Woods. Steps in, long two. No good. Rebound by Andrews. And a reach foul called on Matarazza. That won't really affect the team fouls with just 1.5 seconds left, but Matarazza's got to be careful to not run into foul trouble here as we are about to go into the fourth quarter. 1.5 seconds, knocked loose by Kimbrough, and that one went out of bounds off the official's leg, but they're just going to call that the end of the quarter. We are through 3, and at the end of 3, the Brookline High Warriors with a 3-point advantage over the Rockets, 26-23. During this break between quarters, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. And you can find that information in the description section down below, as well as a link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Booster Club, the official booster club of Brookline High Girls Basketball. And fans, as we prepare for the fourth and final quarter of regulation here, I gotta tell you folks, if you know of any Brookline fans that aren't watching this live stream right now, you better send them the link and tell them to tune in, because this game is coming down to the wire. Just 3 points separating these two teams. And since this second half, I don't think either team has led by more than 3 points since, since the halftime break. Needham with the first possession. DeRolin runs in. Pass tipped away. Stolen by Agakic. Fast break. 3-on-1. Agakic runs in. Pass knocked out of bounds by DeRolin as Agakic was looking for Kimbrough. Brookline with the inbound from the baseline. Agakic looking. Gives out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough from the top looking around. Hands off to Woods. Woods alone at the three-point line. Tries it. No good. Rebound tipped and won by Andrews. Andrews gives to Brown. Brown from the top. Gives to Jansen. Back to Brown. Back to Jansen. Baseline to Andrews. Throws for a cutting Flaherty. Stolen away and saved by Woods. She gives to Agakic, who runs the floor. Agakic running in. Tries it. No good. Rebound is going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow to Brookline. Good hustle by Matarazza to get her hands on that one. Couple subs coming in for Needham. As the inbound goes to Wheeler, pass to Woods, back out Wheeler. Up top, Kimbrough. Kimbrough from the top. Starts to drive, kicks. Agakic tries to drive herself. Puts up a floater, no good, but does draw the foul. Agakic will go to the line for 2 off the first foul of the fourth quarter. That'll be against Kamosi. First free throw, nothing but net. Agakic now with 3 points today. And off on the second as Levine collects the rebound. DeRolin walks it up. Brookline was still talking with Coach Jones as Agakic put up that second free throw. Levine tries a mid-range jumper and hits it. Levine with the first made field goal of the fourth quarter. She's got 7 points now to lead Needham's scorers. 27-25, the Brookline lead as Kimbrough with the ball. Kimbrough couldn't find an opening, gives out to Woods. Woods inside, Matarazza turnaround, jumper, no good. Rebound Andrews. Kamosi running it the other way, driving, puts one up and in. Annie Kamosi now with 4 today as we are tied at 27 apiece. Agakic driving in, throws out to Woods, inside Matarazza. Matarazza gives out to Woods. Woods tries to drive in, pass out to Wheeler, up top, Kimbrough. Kimbrough starts to drive, spins, finds a bit of a lane, forces the shot, and draws the foul. Tight quarters that Brookline is trying to fight through to get these openings, and Kimbrough manages to draw Needham's second team foul. Off on the first. In a game this tight, these free throws are going to mean everything for both teams. Kimbrough misses them both. Rebound by Andrews. Levine bringing it the other way. Pass to Brown. Step back three is good. A huge three-pointer from Noah Brown puts Needham back up in the lead for the first time in a while. Woods driving to respond. Floater no good. Rebound Kamosi. 8 points now for Noah Brown off that three-pointer, and she's calling for it in the corner again. Tries for three. No good. Rebound Levine. Putback is good. Needham finding their offensive rhythm here as Brookline, calls timeout. Sorry about that. A 9-0 run for Needham. Brookline got the first point of the fourth quarter off a free throw and went up 27-23. But since then, the Needham offense has come alive, led by, I believe, 4 points from Hannah Levine, 3 from Noah Brown, and 2 from Annie Kamosi. And Brookline has got to dig deep to try and get back in this one and not let this momentum shift continue in Needham's favor. Out of the timeout, Izzy Woods walking it up. Off a screen, tries for three, hits it. Huge response out of the timeout by Izzy Woods, who's now got her first career double-digit game with 12 points. Now Kamosi runs in, tries a floater, short, rebound Kimbrough, could not save it out of bounds. It will stay with Needham. Substitution coming in for Brookline as we take a look at a replay of that three-pointer by Woods off a nice screen from Matarazza. Skylar Makaluski back in the game for Brookline. As Needham with the ball, they work it up top to Levine, now throw it out. Brown tries for three, no good. Rebound Andrews, putback is good. Andrews now with 8 points as Needham goes up by 4, 34-30. Kimbrough gives to Woods. Woods off a screen, tries for three again, blocked by Andrews, but not cleanly. They call a three-point foul on Eva Andrews, and Izzy Woods is going to have a shot for 3 free throws here. Woods going to the line for 3. Hits the first. We got some news in the live chat from Elliot Schickler of Patch.com as Woods is off on the second. The Brookline boys basketball team defeated Needham 65-50 today in Brookline. According to Elliot, Alan Shee was dominant in the paint. Barry Golden and Caleb Haynes were also spectacular. Woods 1 for 3 at the line, and they can't get the rebound as it's snagged by Levine. Kamosi bringing it up, throws to the corner. Brown off a screen, throws to Kamosi, runs baseline, pass disrupted by Makaluski, bounced out of bounds off the foot of Andrews. Good disruption by Makaluski, but Brookline's got to find some points. They trail by 3 with just 4 minutes to go. Kimbrough from the wing, looking for a screen, didn't quite get it, looking for it again, gets the screen finally, pass deflected by Kamosi, but does get to Wheeler. Wheeler resets, hands off to Kimbrough, Brookline's going to try again, but they got only 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kimbrough drives, floater, no good. Rebound by Levine. Levine walks it up for the Rockets, gives to Brown, back to Levine. Now swings it over to Camozzi. Camozzi runs in, floater no good. Andrews, the rebound no good on the putback. Scrum for the loose ball picked up by Andrews, throws out to Brown, up top to Roland, over to Levine. Now over to Camozzi. Camozzi for three, hits it. Annie Camozzi continues the hot streak from outside for Needham as she's now got 7, and the Rockets now have a 6-point lead, 37-31. Kimbrough looking, oh, miscommunication as Andrews takes that steal, throws it to Camozzi, and Camozzi draws a defensive foul on Kimbrough. Disastrous on that play as right as Kimbrough decided to float it into Matarazza. Matarazza decided to try and make a cut to elsewhere. And that resulted in a bad turnover for Brookline. Camozzi off on the three. Another offensive board by Andrews and draws a foul on Matarazza. Brookline now struggling on the boards. They've had some struggles at other points in this game, but Needham's cold shooting streak helped them get away with it, but now Needham is making more of their shots. Andrews takes the inbound, shot no good, gets her own rebound again, throws it out. Brown tries for three, that was blocked, but recovered by Camozzi, but her foot on the line, and Brookline takes it away. Great closeout on the perimeter. I think it was Kimbrough who got that block as she now checks out for Aga Kitch. 2.5 minutes to go. Brookline trailing by 6, and they've got to find some offense. Woods drives, kicks. Makaluski drives, kicks. Wheeler drives, kicks. Aga Kitch from the corner, well short, might have been blocked. And now Needham takes it back. Camozzi walks it up. Camozzi gives to DeRolin. To the corner now. Brown throws it across. Andrews back to Brown. Over to Camozzi. Camozzi runs in, shot short. Might have been disrupted by Matarazza, who gets the rebound. Wheeler dribbling, gives it to Makaluski. Makaluski couldn't get the screen. Swings it over to Woods. Woods to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch gets the screen, tries for three, no good. Rebound by Andrews, gives to DeRolin. Minute and a half to go, still a 6-point game in favor of Needham. Camozzi holding it up top, gives to DeRolin. DeRolin runs in, kicks out. Camozzi for three, well short. And that just flies out of bounds. Good box out by Wheeler to just let that bounce out. It's still a 2-basket game, but Brookline has not been able to buy a bucket here. As Woods off a screen runs in, finds traffic and gets stuffed. But last touched by Woods, and it'll be Needham ball. Less than a minute to go. Brookline has not been able to score here in the last 4 minutes of this contest as Camozzi brings it across. Throws it over to Brown. Brown to DeRolin. DeRolin out to Andrews, gives to Levine. Levine wide open, missed the layup. Rebound, Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch running the fast break, throws it up for Matarazza. Matarazza gets fouled by DeRolin. Hard to say whether she was in the process of shooting. It looks like they're going to give him the shooting foul. And so Matarazza will have 2 free throws here. Won't be able to cut it down to a 1-possession game. She hits the first of 2. Now with 7 points. And misses the second. Rebound by Andrews. Andrews' rebounding has been so huge for Needham all night long, as the intentional foul is committed by Matarazza. And a timeout is called by Needham, as with a 2-score lead and less than 30 seconds to play, Needham now just trying to put the last nail in Brookline's coffin here. And that's actually going to be the last foul for Matarazza as she fouls out. We weren't really keeping track of personal fouls here. They didn't show on the scoreboard, so. But that will be the last foul for Matarazza as she fouls out here. And that's going to put Brookline in an even tighter spot, as their lineup is going to be significantly shorter here, with Makaluski, the tallest Warrior, on the floor now. Brookline needs either a takeaway or they need Needham to whiff on their free throws, and they need to get a couple of buckets to try and come back here. Looking for the inbound. They get it into Andrews. Pass to Levine, and now the foul committed by Makaluski. And still not enough for the free throws. As that's now 4 team fouls for Brookline. One more will send Needham to the line. As a nice screen gets Kamosi loose, kills a couple seconds, and now she'll go to the line off the intentional foul from Wheeler. Two made free throws, that is, would make this a 3-basket game. As Kamosi hits the first. She's now got 8 points, doubling up the 4 points she had against Brookline last year. Hits them both. And that's a back-breaking pair of free throws from Kamosi, as Kimbrough tries a quick shot, won't go, and Brown will now be fouled by Wheeler. And with just 11 seconds left, and already a 3-basket lead, looks like Needham is going to come away with the win here, as it would take a miracle at this point for Brookline to come back. Brown hits the first of 2 and now has 9 points. And hits both and reaches double figures. Agakich runs up with it, tries for 3, no good, and that will go out of bounds with 1.5 seconds left. And I believe this will be your final score, as we just await the final inbound to Kamosi, and that will be your ball game. The final score here in Needham, the Needham High Rockets 41, the Brookline High Warriors 32. Brookline gets outscored 7-1 down the stretch, as Needham's offense got hot, as Brookline's got cold in the closing minutes. Needham improves to 2-0 on the year, while Brookline falls to 0-2. Final individual point totals for Needham. Noah Brown finished with a team-leading 10 points, as she really came alive in that fourth quarter after battling foul trouble for most of the game. Annie Kamosi and Hannah Levine with 9 points each, and they also had some big buckets in the fourth quarter. Eva Andrews with 8 points and several rebounds, as she was a huge presence down low for the Rockets. Callie McCarthy with 3 points. Excuse me. Danny DeRolin with 2. For Brookline, Izzy Woods with a big day in her first double-digit outing of her career. 13 points for the Brookline sophomore. Olivia Matarazzo with 7. Jada Kimbrough with 5. Skylar Makaluski with 4. And Nefeli Agakich with 3. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you once again to Esh Dental for sponsoring this broadcast. If you would like to find out more about the local dentist service provided by BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch, you can find their phone number and website and email in the description section down below. You can also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Booster Club, the official booster club of Brookline High Girls Basketball. You can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And you can also find some links related to me, my personal website, jessesports.com. If you would like to find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that and contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have, you can just send me an email. You can see my email right there. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Needham 41, Brookline 32. From Needham High School in Needham, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.